Hello, watch enthusiasts. Today we've got a fascinating topic for you. We're going to discuss 10 watches to avoid. You might think you have a clear idea of which watches you'd like to own, but it's equally important to know which ones you should steer clear of. We're here to help you avoid costly mistakes. Plus, if you ever find yourself with a watch you don't love, our first watch on the list is the Tudor Black Bay 58. This watch has caused quite a stir in the watch community recently, and for good reason. It's the vintage-inspired cousin of Rolex, and at just over $4,000 it's a more budget-friendly option. But before you rush to get one, there's a catch. Despite its appeal, it comes in a 37mm case. While that may not seem too small, if you're a fan of larger watches like the 42mm Explorer 2, you might find this one a tad underwhelming. Now, let's talk about the Tissot PRX, a true budget bastion of Swiss watchmaking. It's been turning heads for delivering a dose of that royal oak charm without the eye-watering price tag. But here's the twist, the 40mm case might not suit everyone. The links are pretty rigid, making it a bit too big for many wrists. The good news is they've introduced a smaller version, so you can still get that sleek look without the fit issues. Now, let's dive into the Tudor Black Bay Pro. When images of this watch were first released, the world collectively thought, this is it, the watch I'll wear for the rest of my life. The heritage-inspired design and creamy off-white colors captured hearts worldwide. However, there's a catch. This watch is 3D in a 2D world. With nearly 15mm of thickness, it's not the slim dream come true many had hoped for. The Omega Speedmaster is a watch that many consider perfect. It boasts a good size, beautiful design, and ruggedness for daily wear. But there's a caveat. The reason it looks so good may be the reason it's not the right fit for you. This watch requires manual winding. No self-winding rotor weight and no hefty power reserve. So, if winding a watch yourself feels like too much effort, this one might not be your best pick. Are you a fan of pilot watches? The Breitling Navitimer is a classic choice. It's part watch and part Da Vinci Code, and wearing it will make you feel like a pilot even if you're not. But here's the catch, if you're a bit of a neat freak, this watch might not be your cup of tea. The dial is busier than a teenager's bedroom, and getting the bezel to line up perfectly can be a real challenge. Now, let's talk about the Omega Seamaster No Time to Die. Who wouldn't want to dress like James Bond, right? This watch is a fan favorite with its military themed details and vintage vibes. Plus, it doesn't have a corny James Bond motif on the dial. However, there's a catch, it's surprisingly lightweight because it's made of titanium. If you prefer the substantial weight of a luxury watch, this one might leave you wanting more. If you're looking for a watch with a vintage dive vibe, the Longines Legend Diver is a fantastic choice. It's more elegant than a Seamaster, more affordable than a Black Bay, and oozes heritage. However, there's a catch. If you like your watches to stay gleaming and shiny, be cautious. The bronze version of this watch will patina and fade over time. If you have the means and you're in search of a watch that epitomizes high-end classical watchmaking, the Patek Philippe 5180 is an option that might cross your mind. Why? Because the caliber 240S Q micro rotor movement has been entirely skeletonized, decorated, and engraved by hand. It's the pinnacle of craftsmanship. But here's a twist, if you have a smooth, tanned wrist, this watch will look utterly exquisite, and your pale, hairy arm might show through the empty space within the movement. The experience may not be as glorious as you'd hope. Finally, we have the Casio Cassiope. This watch is legendary, boasting a cheeky 70 seconds integrated silhouette and the ruggedness of a G-Shock for added peace of mind. It's an absolute no-brainer, right? Well, not quite. Some models have contrasting colors on the hands that make them challenging to read. If your eyesight isn't perfect, you might want to steer clear. These are the 10 watches we suggest you approach with caution. Remember, what works for one person might not work for another. The key is to consider your personal preferences, needs, and lifestyle before investing in a timepiece. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more watch-related content.